My name is Daniel Carter. I'm 34 years old. If you had asked me 2 weeks ago what the biggest mistake of my life was, I probably would have said, working too much. Today, my answer is different. I trusted my wife more than I trusted my own instincts. Emma and I had been married for 7 years. In 7 years of birthdays, 7 years of anniversaries, 7 years of believing we were building a future together. At least, that's what I thought. Our 7th anniversary was coming up, and I'd been planning something special for months. A private lakeside resort, a candlelit dinner, a luxury suite overlooking the water. I even bought her a new diamond ring because I wanted to surprise her. I wanted her to feel the same excitement she felt on our wedding day. The night before our trip, Emma walked into the kitchen holding her coffee mug. She smiled, but something about that smile felt different. "I have something to tell you," she said. I looked up from my laptop. "Good news or bad news?" She shrugged. "I guess that depends on how mature you are." That sentence immediately made my stomach tighten. What does that mean? She took another sip of coffee before saying the words that completely changed everything. "I invited Ryan to come with us." Ryan, her ex-boyfriend, the man she had always described as ancient history. I laughed because I honestly thought she was joking. She didn't laugh back. "I'm serious," she said. "He'll be staying at the same resort." I stared at her. "What?" "It's not a big deal. It's our anniversary." "I know. So why is your ex coming?" She rolled her eyes. "Because we're adults, Daniel." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Our anniversary isn't supposed to be a group vacation." She crossed her arms. "You're making this weird." "No," I replied quietly. "You already made it weird." She walked closer until she was standing right in front of me. Then she leaned toward my ear and whispered, "Listen carefully. If you embarrass me in front of Ryan," she paused, "our marriage is over." I didn't say another word. Not because I agreed, not because I accepted it, but because something inside me told me this trip was about to reveal the truth I'd been too blind to see. The drive to the resort was painfully quiet. Emma sat in the passenger seat scrolling through her phone almost the entire time. Every few minutes, she smiled. Not at me, at her phone. I kept telling myself I was overthinking. Maybe she was texting one of her friends. Maybe I was letting my emotions get the best of me. Then her phone lit up again. This time, I accidentally caught a glimpse of the screen. "Ryan, can't wait to see you again." Before I could read anything else, she quickly turned the phone away. "What?" She looked at me coldly. "Nothing." "You looked at my phone." I wasn't trying to. She sighed dramatically. "Please don't start this already." Already? We hadn't even arrived. 40 minutes later, we pulled into the lakeside resort. It was beautiful, exactly how I imagined it. Fresh flowers, luxury cabins, a private lake, couples walking hand in hand. It should have been one of the happiest days of our marriage. Instead, I felt like I was walking toward a disaster. We checked in. The receptionist smiled politely. "Happy anniversary, Mr. and Mrs. Carter." I smiled back. Emma barely reacted. As we walked toward our suite, I heard someone behind us. "Emma?" She stopped instantly. That smile, the smile I hadn't seen in months, suddenly appeared on her face. She turned around and almost ran toward him. Ryan, tall, confident, perfectly dressed. He opened his arms. Emma hugged him. Not for 1 second, not for 2, long enough for everyone around us to notice. I stood there, holding our luggage, watching my own wife hug another man on our anniversary. Ryan finally looked at me. "You must be Daniel." He extended his hand. I shook it. His grip was just a little tighter than necessary. He smiled. "I've heard so much about you." I forced a smile. "I'm sure you have." Emma laughed. Actually laughed. Then she wrapped her arm around Ryan's shoulder. "You two are finally meeting." Meeting? As if this was something I'd been waiting for. Ryan looked around. "This place is incredible." Emma nodded excitedly. "I told you you'd love it." Those words hit me harder than I expected. I told you. Not. I told Daniel. Not. We picked this together. She had been talking to Ryan about our anniversary trip before we even arrived. Then Ryan looked at his watch. "Dinner starts in 20 minutes. Emma smiled. "I can't wait." I frowned. "Dinner?" She looked at me as if I'd asked a stupid question. "Yeah, the 3 of us." Before I could answer, she leaned close to me and whispered the exact same warning she'd given me the night before. Remember what I said? Stay calm, or we're over. At that exact moment, I realized something wasn't right. This wasn't just an awkward reunion. This entire trip had been planned around Ryan. The restaurant overlooked the lake. Soft piano music filled the room. Candles flickered on every table. Every couple around us looked happy, except us. Ryan pulled out Emma's chair before I even had the chance. She smiled. Thank you. She didn't even look at me. I quietly took my seat. A waiter walked over. Would you like some champagne to celebrate your anniversary? Before I could answer, Ryan smiled. Absolutely. Emma nodded immediately. Great idea. I stared at both of them. Ryan wasn't acting like a guest. He was acting like the husband. The waiter poured 3 glasses. Ryan raised his. To old memories, Emma laughed, and unforgettable ones. They clinked glasses. I never lifted mine. For the next 20 minutes, I barely spoke. Ryan dominated every conversation. He reminded Emma about college, road trips, inside jokes, restaurants they used to visit, movies they watched together. She laughed so hard that tears filled her eyes. I hadn't seen her laugh like that in years. Not with me, with him. Then Ryan suddenly looked at me. So, Daniel, what was Emma like when you first met her? I smiled politely. I thought I knew. Ryan smirked. What does that mean? Emma immediately interrupted. Daniel, her voice was sharp, a warning. I ignored it. I just mean people change. Ryan leaned back. I don't think Emma has changed much. Emma looked at him and smiled. You know me better than anyone. That sentence hit me like a truck. Her own husband was sitting right there, yet she had just told another man. You know me better than anyone. I looked around the restaurant. People had started noticing us. Not because we were arguing, but because Emma and Ryan looked more like the married couple. The waiter returned with the appetizers. As he placed the plates on the table, Ryan reached across and wiped a tiny drop of sauce from the corner of Emma's lips. She didn't stop him. She didn't pull away. She just smiled. My hand slowly tightened under the table. Emma noticed. Without looking at me, she whispered, Relax. Then she quietly added, Don't ruin tonight. I looked directly into her eyes. For who? She froze. Ryan looked confused. What? Emma quickly answered for me. Nothing. Ryan shrugged and continued eating. A few minutes later, Emma excused herself to the restroom. The moment she disappeared, Ryan leaned toward me. His smile completely disappeared. So, it's finally just us. I looked at him. What do you want? He chuckled. I wanted to see the guy she chose. I didn't answer. He continued. I honestly expected someone stronger. I stayed silent. He laughed. You're exactly what she described. That caught my attention. What did she describe? Ryan smiled, took another sip of champagne, and said something that made my blood run cold. She told me you'd never have the courage to stand up to her. I stared at Ryan. What did you just say? He leaned back in his chair as if he had all the time in the world. I said, Emma told me you'd never stand up to her. I felt my heartbeat pounding in my ears. You're lying. Ryan laughed. I wish I was. He pulled out his phone. I'm actually surprised she never showed you. My stomach tightened. He unlocked the screen and slid the phone across the table. I probably shouldn't, but you deserve to know. I looked down. There it was, a text conversation. Emma's name at the top. At first, I thought it had to be fake. Then I saw something only Emma would ever say. A nickname, one she had used for years. My hands started shaking. Ryan pointed at one message. Emma, don't worry about Daniel. He always stays quiet. I can make him do whatever I want. I couldn't breathe. Ryan smiled. I told you. I kept scrolling. Another message. Emma, just don't push him too hard until after the trip. I don't want him ruining our anniversary plans. Our anniversary plans? Not my anniversary. Not our anniversary. She meant her and Ryan. At that moment, Emma returned. She immediately noticed Ryan's phone in front of me. Her smile disappeared. What are you doing? Ryan calmly picked up his glass. Nothing. She looked at me. My face must have told her everything. Her eyes widened. Daniel, I can explain. I slowly stood up. The entire restaurant became silent. People at nearby tables stopped eating. Emma grabbed my wrist. Please. Not here. I looked down at her hand, then back into her eyes. For 7 years. I believed every word you ever said. Tears instantly filled her eyes. It isn't what you think. I smiled. For the first time that night, I smiled. Not because I was happy, because something inside me had finally broken. I gently removed her hand from my arm. Then I asked one question. One simple question. The same question she had feared from the very beginning. If he's just your ex? I paused. Why did you book his room using our joint credit card? Emma's face turned completely pale. She didn't answer. She couldn't. Ryan looked at her confused. What is he talking about? Emma swallowed hard. Daniel, it isn't what it looks like. I let out a quiet laugh. Really? Then tell him. She looked at Ryan, then back at me. Neither of us said a word. Finally, Ryan frowned. Emma. What credit card? She slowly sat down. For the first time that entire evening, she had no control over the conversation. I reached into my wallet, pulled out my phone, opened the banking app, then I turned the screen toward Ryan. There. 3 weeks ago. $2,486. Luxury Lakeside Resort. Room 214. Ryan's smile disappeared. He looked at Emma. You told me your company paid for my room. She looked completely frozen. Ryan stood up. What? You said this was a gift. She started crying. I was going to pay him back. I shook my head. No, you weren't. You never planned to. The people at nearby tables had completely stopped eating. Even the waiters were watching. Ryan looked at Emma with disbelief. You lied to me too? She grabbed his arm. Ryan, please. He pulled away. Don't touch me. Then he turned toward me. I swear. I didn't know she used your money. I looked him straight in the eyes. I believe you. Emma suddenly looked shocked. You believe him? I nodded. Yes. Because right now, he looks more betrayed than I do. Ryan stared at Emma. You told me your marriage was basically over. You said he didn't even care anymore. Emma covered her face with both hands. I didn't know what else to say. Ryan took one step back. So, you lied to both of us. She burst into tears. I just wanted everyone to be happy. I couldn't stop myself from laughing. The entire restaurant heard it. Happy? You invited your ex on our anniversary. You paid for him with my money. You told him I was weak. And somehow, you wanted everyone to be happy? Emma whispered. I'm sorry. Those 2 words came 7 years too late. I took off my wedding ring, placed it gently on the dinner table, looked at her one last time. Then I said, you don't have to worry anymore. I'm not going to ruin your anniversary. I turned around and walked toward the exit. But before I reached the door, someone behind me shouted, Daniel! It wasn't Emma, it was Ryan. Ah! I stopped. Ryan's voice echoed across the restaurant. Daniel! I slowly turned around. The entire room was silent. Ryan walked toward me. Emma stood frozen behind him, tears running down her face. Ryan looked me straight in the eyes. I owe you an apology. I didn't say anything. He continued. I thought you were the problem. I thought you were controlling. I thought you were exactly the man she described. He shook his head. But now, I realize I was manipulated too. Emma suddenly stepped forward. Ryan, please stop. He didn't even look at her. No. You lied to both of us. You used him, and you used me. She broke down crying. I never wanted this to happen. Ryan laughed bitterly. It already happened. He reached into his pocket, pulled out a small velvet box, then placed it on the table. I looked at him. What is that? He smiled sadly. The necklace. I bought it for her. I was planning to give it to her tonight. Emma whispered, Ryan. He pushed the box toward her. You can keep it. But don't ever call me again. Without another word, he walked past me and left the restaurant. Emma stood there, completely alone. For the first time all night, nobody was standing beside her. She slowly walked toward me. Her mascara had run down her face. Her voice was barely audible. "Daniel." I made the biggest mistake of my life. I looked at her, calmly. "No. The biggest mistake of your life was thinking I'd stay forever." She grabbed my arm. "Please, let's go home. I'll fix everything." I gently removed her hand. "There is no home anymore." Her knees almost gave out. "I love you." I looked at the wedding ring still sitting on the dinner table, then back at her. "If you loved me, you would have protected me, not humiliated me." I turned around, walked out of the restaurant, and never looked back. 3 months later, the divorce was finalized. The judge awarded me nearly everything I'd paid for during our marriage, including the money she had secretly spent on Ryan. Emma tried calling me dozens of times, then hundreds. I never answered. A mutual friend later told me Ryan blocked her. Her parents refused to support her. Most of her friends disappeared after learning the truth. She lost almost everyone, not because I took revenge, but because the truth finally caught up with her. As for me, I learned something priceless. Sometimes, walking away isn't losing. Sometimes, it's the first time you finally choose yourself. And looking back now, leaving that restaurant was the best decision I ever made. The end.